Well, we can ask ourselves what the purpose of an educational system is. And of course, there are sharp differences on this matter. There's the traditional an interpretation that comes from the Enlightenment, which holds that the highest goal in life is to inquire and create, to search the riches of the past, try to internalize the parts of them that are significant to you, carry that quest for understanding further in your own way. Purpose of education, from that point of view, is just to help people determine how to learn on their own. It's you, the learner, who is going to achieve in the course of education, and it's really up to you what you'll master, where you'll go, how you'll use it, how you'll go on to produce something new and exciting for yourself, maybe for others. That's one concept of education. The other concept is essentially indoctrination. People have the idea that from childhood, young people have to be placed into a framework in which they'll follow orders, accept existing frameworks, not challenge, and so on. And this is often quite explicit. So, for example, after the activism of the 1960s, there was great concern across much of the educated spectrum that young people were just getting too free and independent, that the country was becoming too democratic, and so on. And in fact, there's an important study on what's called the crisis of democracy, too much democracy, arguing that claiming that there are certain institutions responsible for the indoctrination of the young. It's their phrase, and they're not doing their job properly. That's schools, universities, churches. We have to change them so that they carry out the job of indoctrination and control more effectively. Education is discussed in terms of whether it's a worthwhile investment. Does it create human capital that can be used for economic growth and so on? That's a very strange, it's a very distorting way to even pose the question, I think. Do we want to have a society of free, creative, independent individuals able to appreciate and gain from the cultural achievements of the past and to add to them? Do we want that? Or do we want people who can increase GDP? They're not necessarily the same. They're not the same thing. And an education of the kind that, say, Bertrand Russell, John Dewey, and others talked about, that's a value in itself. Whatever impact it has on the society, it's a value because it helps create better human beings. After all, that's what an educational system should be for. A lively cultural and educational system which is geared towards encouraging creative exploration, independence of thought, willingness to challenge, to cross frontiers, to challenge accepted beliefs and so on. If you don't have that, you're not going to get the technology that can lead to economic gains, though that I don't think is the prime purpose of cultural enrichment and education as a part of it.